Hey guys, if you saw my drummer boy video, then that means that you saw this. And so today I want to show you guys the recreation of those intro set of hits. So those pixel strips on my stage are Q-Pix battens. So I have 3 groups here, though the 2 primary ones are all of the primary fixtures and then broken out into the sub-fixtures because they're multi-instance. So if I just grab this group 15, for example, and go to my selection grid, you can see it's just the primary fixture numbers. And if I go down, that breaks them out into pixels, and this is my Q-Pix pixels group. So another way to save and create that group that I do want to show the syntax for is if we go fixture 501 through 512.1 through, there's 10 pixels each, that will also get you your pixels in this linear order. And that's perfect for what we're about to do. So now that we have our pixel group, I'm going to clear this selection out. I'm going to go to the layouts for just a second, and I have them stacked horizontally just because it's a little easier to keep track of instead of 120 in a linear line. But if I grab my Q-Pix pixels group, I'm going to come down to our MA3 here for a second and kind of share what the pattern is. So we have a group of 4, and then X of 1, that is our first hit. X of 2 is our second hit. But the unique thing about this pattern is that it's individual pixel, and then 2 together, and then occasionally there's another one where it's 2 others together. So to get the next set of 2 together, we want X of 2, group of 2. We want to set our block of 2. And that's the pattern for the next hit. And then the one that sometimes happen is X of 4. And if all of those are turned on, you have a complete strip. Every pixel is on. This pattern accounts for every single pixel. And so I'm going to go now to my Christmas sequences tab, which is where everything for the Christmas shows, all of the sequences with miscellaneous hits, that sort of thing, all of those just live here. And up here are where my original ones were. But the thing that I'm going to do differently this time around is I'm going to create them with recipes. And the reason is we dialed in these MA3, but if you just store the data of intensity on with MA3 as they are, you really have to start from scratch if you want to change that cue. It's not very convenient. But with recipes, you can. So I'm just going to click in this blank space to create a sequence. I'm going to go edit, store Q1. There's no data in the programmer, so it's a blank queue. I can click on this queue now, give it a recipe line down here, set our selection to the Q-Pix pixels group, and you can also do this with the recipe editor if you want. Come over to our values, and I want them at full, which is just a universal preset. And if I scroll over, we have our MA3 just like we were punching in earlier. So the pattern is X of 1, group of 4, and I need the time of this cue to be 0 so the hit is instant, and I want a half-second fade out. I'm going to come to the sequence settings and give it a dim seafoam appearance because that's what I did last time. We're just going to call this drummer boy hit 1. Close out of that. I'm going to copy this sequence now, come over and edit. That value is exactly the same except for the X of 2 for this hit. We'll copy this again. And now here's where the pattern's a little different because it is still X2 group 4 but block of 2. We'll duplicate this again. Scroll over, and I now need X of 4. And if I come in, I'm just going to set this sequence pool to temp. But if I assign this to a console, it would all be the same. We now have hit, 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 hit. And that's all there is to it. That's a quick and easy way to create those hits. With recipes, it's awesome because let's say I suddenly want these hits to be block of 2 instead of 1, all I have to do is come over and change that block value on each of these two sequences. And without having to go in and store anything separate, we have the exact same, or we have that tweaked effect. I didn't have to clear out any data or restore any data. It's just right there, live to change, which is why recipes are awesome. So now that we have these hits created, the only thing that we are missing is color. So I'm going to select our Drummer Boy sequence. And if I hit go onto this first cue right here, I can select my QPix Pixels group. We'll turn highlight off. And with that exact same pattern, we want X of 1, group of 4. I can do this selection and then set a color that I like. Store that into this cue. The pattern resumes for this next one, so I can just next to the next fixture tab, set the color for that. I can now go and set block of 2, group of 4. There's the color for that hit, which is white, and I believe that, yeah, the next set was also white. But I've just got the colors that I'm using programmed into this first cue on the main Drummer Boy sequence. And so when this is live, let me change this back to temp again. You can see the colors carrying through, and we changed those values, so let me actually hit the original ones. You can see that the first one is a blue, then a less saturated blue on the next hit, and then white here. And that's how that effect carries through. It was as simple as the color is set in the first cue of my main sequence for that song, and these hits only contain intensity data. And so, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want more tips and tricks, and we'll keep making them. See you guys.